Hey guys, welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and today we're going to be building this big reactor. Oh yeah, it's big. Alright guys, so let's get started today. We are going to make a big reactor. Now, there is going to be a little bit of crafting in this episode. As you can see, we have tons of materials to make a big reactor. We have tons of yellorium. Like, I mean, we are maxed out. This guy is looking pretty ridiculous. That's because most of our stuff has went into here. The item filter is keeping these items in here. But yeah, this is looking kind of ridiculous. Look at all this coal and obsidian and basalt. All that is being kept away from here. This guy's filled up. I mean, it's full. Tons of yellorium, tons of stuff. Yeah, this guy is just maxed out, so it can't really go nowhere. It's gonna try though. But yeah, let's go ahead and make a big reactor. I mean, we have enough room to make a giant big reactor. I think what I'm gonna do is fill that bottom area down here. I might fill this whole bottom space instead of keeping these guys where they're at. I think I'm just going to build a big reactor down here and like expand off from here. And as you can see, I kind of decorated the botany room. I got a little carried away with chisel and bits. Yeah, I didn't want to really go over chisel and bits because of how easy the mod is to kind of understand. But I might cover it later. But yeah, this is the kind of stuff you can do with chisels and bits. You can kind of chip away at all the items and kind of get the look you want. You can break away individual pixels and all that good stuff. But yeah, here's our manifold. I just wanted to show you guys this real quick. Just from the coal right now, without it being automated, I've just been tossing it over here every now and then while I was building up this room. Yeah. We have over half a mana pool build. That's a lot of mana, at least for one pool early on. Like with as early as I am in this game, yeah, that's pretty good. So yeah, I think I'm gonna build a big reactor down here. I might actually take it one down. Yeah, that's what I'll probably do. Man, it's hard for me to decide. You know what? I'm just gonna build it down here. I'm gonna build it right here. If I have to move it later, I can, but I'm gonna build it right there. That is probably gonna be awesome. All right, let's go get the stuff to build this this big reactor. Okay, so or extreme reactor, I should say. At extreme reactor, or you can type big reactor, it doesn't matter. It is of course the big reactor mod, but just renamed. We're going to need to create a few things. This does require a diamond for the reactor controller. Everything else I think is pretty straightforward on the items it requires to make. Not much. Graphite is basically the only thing that we're really going to need to produce. And yeah, graphite. So we're going to need a bunch of coal turned into graphite. So let's go ahead and get coal. Pop coal in there. It should turn it into pulverized coal, I think. Actually, no, sorry. We need to take that out. We need to cook our coal. So this is going to be a bit of a challenge. Let's go ahead and move all of this stuff out of the way. And what I'll do is take all this coal. And if I put it in this first slot here, it will consume from that first slot. Yeah, just like that. I don't want that. I want it to keep consuming from the first slot there. There we go. Now that should be enough graphite, hopefully, for the size reactor that we want. The only problem is we're going to have to clear a lot of inventory space to allow for that graphite to come in. And luckily I made a big 16K storage disk, so we have a little bit more room in here to basically clear this guy. I don't know how much sand and stone we need. And I should have put my Botania book down in the Botania room, but I didn't. But yeah, we can go ahead and we're getting graphite cooking up, which is awesome. The graphite's used a lot in this mod. I mean, it's, yeah, a lot. When I mean a lot, I mean a lot. Unfortunately, it's raining, so not the greatest thing. But the reactor casing requires a reactor casing core, and the reactor casing itself requires 4 graphite bars, and this requires 2. So to get 4 casing, we're going to need 6 graphite bars and a bunch of iron. So that's something to keep in mind. You can kind of make a small one and get quite a lot of power out of it early game with this. So all you need is some graphite and some iron, some redstone and gold, and you should be good. Gold's the only thing that I don't think we have a whole bunch of, but I think we're going to have enough. So let's go ahead and get started. I want to make a 9 by 9 by 5 tall, or maybe 7 tall reactor. That's going to net us a ton of power early game, probably close to, I'm estimating close to 15,000 or somewhere around 15,000 RF a tick. So that'll be a pretty good thing to have. All right, let's go ahead and make some casing. We're going to need tons of this stuff, so might as well make tons of it. There we go. We'll get as many as we can of those with the amount of graphite that we have. And we'll just basically wait for the graphite bars to cook up. And I'll be right back once we get all that done. Alright guys, so I have more graphite cooking. I went ahead and got a few of these reactor casings. I don't think this is going to be enough to get it completely done, but I do have more cooking up. This is the size that I want to go with. So this is a 9 on this side, 9 on this side. So a 9 by 9. And then this goes up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 high. So it's a 9 by 9 by 7. Or a 9 by 7 by 9. Depends on how you look at it. But yeah, we're going to have to fill the entire bottom here with reactor casings. Of course, the bottom has to be completely filled. This entire thing is going to require a lot of these blocks. It's going to also require a lot of yellorium to make, because we're going to need to make the rods and all that other good stuff. Okay, one of the controllers is going to go on one of these sides, probably the north-facing side. Whatever side is facing our building. It's kind of dark right now, so this side is going to have the controller on it. Go ahead and turn hover mode off. And there's going to be controllers on each side. So I can fill this guy and see how much we'll actually need. It'll be helpful to know. Yeah, you just basically fill this in. You don't have to use anything special. I don't think I'm going to use any glass or anything like that on this, because there's really no need to see what's on the inside, like once it's closed up. It just requires more resources for your computer to run, especially if you're running this on a slower PC. You're not going to want to use the reactor glass. It's going to slow you down a little bit, because it does have to render the inside where normally it wouldn't. As you can see, if you click on this without having the whole structure finished, now there went that bug. As you can see, my after a while, the audio for the jetpack goes away. I don't know why. It's actually quite nice. I don't like the noise the jetpack makes anyways during recordings, so that helps out a lot actually. Okay, so we got this far. Looks like we got 17 blocks. That's perfect. We're also going to need some of these reactor casings itself for the machine, for some of the important blocks that we're going to need. Awesome. I just wish it would stop raining. It's been raining for a while. Yeah, definitely been raining for quite a while. Okay, so let's get back in here. Let's see how much of this stuff has actually been processed. That's a lot. That's a whole bunch. Okay, so we need some fuel rods for sure. We're going to need a little bit more reactor casing. I'm just going to get, what was that, a stack? This stuff's going to need to go in here. Let's see, 1 stack. I guess stack and 1 will work. Yeah. So let's go ahead and get 1 more stack of these, or however much it'll let me produce. There we go. And that's all we have. Okay. So let's go ahead and make a controller. We're going to need a reactor controller. We don't need the reactor glass right now. I think one of these blocks actually require it though. A reactor redstone flux power tap. Let's see, is that the power tap? Yes, it is. That's the RF power tap. We're going to need that. That's how we're going to get power out of it. This is a reactor Tesla power tap. Don't know what that one's all about. Something to do with Tesla power. Let's see. We're going to need a reactor access port. 2 of those. So 2 pistons. Make sure we have 2 chests on us. I'm sure we do. We're going to need 2 of these. 1 for input, 1 for output. Reactor control rods. Now we're going to need a few of those. We're going to actually count them here in a minute to find out how many we need. And we might want a redstone port just so we can shut this machine on and off and have it controlled. So yeah, we have basically everything we need to turn this guy on whenever we have it completely built. We just need our reactor casings out of here. Let's go ahead and get them all. There we go. And let's go finish building this, and let's count out how many of the control rods we're going to need. So that's something kind of important to know. Alright, so when we do the control rods, what I want is to have them separated. I want to start them right here. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, or 14. Actually, we want 1. Yeah, because we want to leave an empty block space in front of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 13 reactor control rods. And with 13 of them, they're going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to need 5 of the fluid of the rods. So 13 and 5 on each rod. Or 5 fluid rods, I think that's what they're called. Yellorium rods on each one. Okay, so let's go back to the extreme reactors. Alright, and we're going to need... Where is it at? Right here, the reactor control rods. Oh, we're also going to need more of the good graphite. There we go. Alright, let's get 13 of these guys. Make sure they have enough casings in there. And I do believe 13 is exactly what I needed. Now with 13, we're going to need each one of those. So 5 times 13 is 40 or 45 or 50, 55, 60, 65. So 65. So basically a stack in one. I do believe. Hopefully that's correct. I do believe that's correct. Yeah, let's go finish this guy. Let's get for the rest of our reactor casing. That should be it. I think this is everything. Besides some Yellorium to kind of start it up. We have a lot of the Yellorium. Man, do we have a lot. Let's get 2 chests. I'm gonna use basic vanilla chests, no big deal. And 2 item conduits. Let's get a Yeta wrench. Can we get a Yeta wrench? I think we can. Do we have electrical steel? We do. Perfect. Now we have a Yeta wrench. We can throw a block of that in there. No big deal. Alright, the Yeta wrench is going to come in handy here in a minute. I'll show you exactly what that does. But yeah, we're going to have this guy built really quick. This is going to give us a lot of power, I must say. Alright, so let's go back into hover mode. That's going to help out a lot. Let's take our reactor casing. And we know that this is going to be basically blocked space on each side. So what we're going to need to get is these out. And on each spot that we want... our reactor control rod, we're going to want to place, like right here, we're going to want to place these guys up. And there's going to be a few of them. And like I said, there should be 65 if I did the math right. Yeah, 65 should be what we're going to go with. I placed them right here, didn't I? I actually probably need more because I didn't think about this. I should have done them in this pattern. Yeah, I'm going to need a lot more now that I think about it. Actually, we may have just enough. I don't know. I was counting out the wrong pattern when I was looking at it. We may have actually more than what we needed. There we go. Yeah, we're going to end up with a little bit more, but that's fine. This guy is going to produce a lot of power. Now you put the control rod right here on the top of these. And then you can fill the rest in with your reactor casing. Just as simple as that. Now you can configure this in totally different ways. You can have this whole thing filled with the control rods if you want to. Just remember that it is going to change the way it works. There's not going to be as much, like you're going to use either more yellorium than you actually need to use, or vice versa. And I'm probably going to get told that this isn't the best configuration, but it should work. It's probably not going to produce as much power as I want, because I don't have as many in here. I actually should have these diagonally, I think. One here, one here. One here, one here, one here. Yeah, I actually have these backwards, I do believe. Yeah, I'm gonna need to change them. I'll be right back once I get this set up correctly. Okay, so how I was describing it earlier was the correct way that I wanted to place these. Okay, you see how they're kind of cross-sectioned. Yeah, I needed to change them to put them in this configuration. This is how I wanted to begin with. Okay, now you place these back on here, and as you can see, this is how it should be. Just like this. That's one of the most efficient ways to get this in here. Yeah, just like this. I'm making sure that I didn't mess up. Kind of looks funny because these blocks are here. But yeah, I need to replace these guys. Right here. Okay, I need these open because we're going to place some stuff down in there. Alright, there's a few different blocks you can use to fill these open areas. And I think the blocks that I want to go with is going to be iron blocks, because it's probably the most abundant block that I have. Diamond is really good. Diamond is almost to the top, I do believe. But there is something better than diamond, and I do believe it is manulin. I think manulin is actually better than diamond. So yeah, on every side of these rods, you're going to want a material. And I don't think it accepts fluids quite yet. That is something that I think they said they are working on. It did work in 1.7, but fluids do not work anymore, I think, in this. Alright, so hover mode is really draining our power. Alright, let's go back and let's get some iron blocks. We have tons of iron blocks. And iron's going to work perfect for us for now. I'm going to put some coal away. We don't need that on us. And just get us a bit of iron. It's probably too much iron blocks, but we do have a lot of them. And this is a pretty decent medium. It's still not going to consume that much power, or that much yellorium, especially with as much yellorium as we're actually producing. Alright, so you just fill it up just like so. Just like that. I'm actually going to put my power tap, now that I think about it, on the top of the reactor. That is probably going to be one of the best places to put it. And just fill up every section around these guys. You can run this without putting these on it, but just remember your reactor is going to run really hot, and it's going to consume a lot more yellorium than with doing it this way. Alright, so we're going to keep filling this guy up. There we go. Almost have it done. But by the way, I'm really appreciating all you guys' comments. And we have surpassed 500 subscribers. I'm super excited about that. That is awesome. I have jumped from a nobody to somebody with, with something in this future, definitely. You guys seem to be enjoying this. So I'm going to keep uploading. That keeps me uploading, seeing you guys liking my videos. I really appreciate that. That is awesome. Alright, so we're getting somewhere with this. You know what's funny is you guys will not be able to see these rods filling with yellorium. They do fill with yellorium, and they get bigger on the inside the more yellorium is around them. But yeah, this filling with iron, it is going to take a lot of iron. This is a rather large reactor. I think the biggest reactor I've actually built was a 7x7x5. I think that's what I normally go with, and that produces around 10,000 RF normally. But usually after I have the big reactor built, it's usually towards the end of the game. Alright, so we can close this guy up. And I think I put... Yeah, that guy is going to be in the middle. If you hold shift, you can place it on the reactor. Oh, actually, no. I guess you can place them on top of them. Awesome. You should be able to access these guys once your reactor is completely built. Alright, we should have enough to close this guy up. Right here, I'm going to place my 2 ports. Right here. And we're going to close this around. Oh, we have run out of energy in our jetpack. That's okay, though. Alright, so right in the front is where our controller is going to go. Right here. And we're going to finish placing all of this. I'm going to have to dig myself out of this place now that I'm down here with no jetpack. But yeah. Alright, let's finish. Hopefully I got enough. I think I do. Okay, and the redstone, the power tap. Power tap actually needs to be on the top, but I didn't put it up there. The reactor redstone port, I kind of want it to go next to the power tap, so actually let's put the power tap right on the side here. The power tap, and then next to the power tap, we will put the redstone. Okay, that works. And we'll finish making this guy. Alright, and it's almost done, and this last block should complete the multi-block, and bam! We now have a reactor. Awesome. So we have a few things that's going on here, and we're going to learn about them here in a minute. Let's go ahead and place the 2 chests and the item conduits right here on the side. This is fine, I think, with them being together. Actually, I might want to move this one. I think it's fine. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay, let's take this and this. Now with the Yeta wrench, we can click on the middle and disconnect them. Alright, this port is going to be set to eject fuel, and it's going to be an inlet mode. And we're going to have this set to insert. Set this to extract, always active. This guy is going to be set to outlet mode. Eject waste, it's going to eject the waste from here. Set this to extract, always active, and this to insert. Now it should insert fuel and eject fuel. So here's the fuel. We're going to fill this guy up. The only problem I see with this is I might need to set a filter on this guy, or on this one, so it doesn't suck in. Even though I don't think it can suck it in, so it probably won't. Yeah, I don't think it'll suck in the plutonium or whatever it produces. But as you can see, we're getting fuel. It's filling up all of the fuel rods on the inside. You can't really see it because I don't have any glass, but you can see that it's already producing a bit of lag with this just being here right here. So if you have glass on this, you're probably going to receive quite a bit of lag. Alright, let's turn this on and let's see how much power we can actually produce. When you hit this button, it'll turn on. You'll see our case heat go up. That's going to change the amount of millibuckets of yellorium it's going to use per tick. It's using 3 millibuckets per tick. And our case heat's pretty good. We are actually producing a lot more than I thought we were. We are producing 22,000 RF a tick right now. Okay, we are going to need some massive power storage here soon. Because, yeah, this is a lot of power. This is basically going to power the entire area. So yeah, so this is how you make a super large big reactor that should power most of your base. It does require a bit of space, as you can see, to make this. You don't have to make it that big, but you can. And yeah, this is pretty cool. I overshot my my goal. I was hoping for around 15,000. We're getting 22,000. So yeah, this is pretty nice. It does use a lot of resources to get to here. So just keep that in mind. You can actually make it even better and probably produce more if you use diamond blocks on the inside, but if you're at the point I'm at, you probably don't have access to that much diamond. But yeah, this is working out pretty good. And it should not be consuming too much. This right here is just from it starting up. It actually consumed that much just starting up. But if we keep an eye on this, let's see. Let's see, is it consuming that much? Should see that drop relatively fast if it was. Yeah, I don't think it's consuming too much. We have tons of this stuff, and I'm gonna set this to once this thing is full right here, I'm gonna set it to automatically turn off right here. You can set this right here to input and output waste, output the casting temperature, output energy amount. Right here, input toggle reactor on and off, set from signal. So you can see toggle on pulse, set from signal, stuff like that. And yeah, that's going to be pretty easy to do. We'll basically have to automate this, let's do at ender, and right here the power monitor will output redstone. It'll output a redstone signal when it's basically receives a certain amount of power. I think you can set it. Can be used to emit a redstone signal based on power storage levels. Must be attached to an Ender IO conduit. So yeah, pretty simple. I think that's what we'll do right here. I don't think we're surpassing the Ender IO conduit level. I think that one is pretty high. Not as high as it could be, but right here. Actually, we are. We are surpassing the highest level conduit. So let's turn this guy off. As you can see, it drops down. It does waste a little bit of fuel when you do this. But yeah. Well, if you guys enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to click that subscribe button and also give this video a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And as always, thanks for watching.